Well, hello everyone, and welcome in to our Sunday edition of JW World News. My name is Rick Farron, and I'm coming to you from Massachusetts. And it's so neat to see so many people coming into the six screens as of late. More and more Jehovah's Witnesses are leaving the organization, and they're coming here. This is where ex-Jehovah's Witnesses come to talk, and we talk every Saturday night and every other Sunday right here on the six screens telenetwork. Well, the emerging situation in the Middle East. That's all we're hearing about. You turn the news on, that's all you're hearing. And, the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses, they're going to use this to their advantage. They're going to spread fear, unbelievable fear among the witnesses, among those that in the congregation. They're going to make them so fearful. Look at the world we're in. Armageddon's right around the corner. Now, they pulled this off with COVID when COVID came into play. Oh, look at the disease. Look at the pestilence. This is a sign of the last days. Friends, it never ends with the governing body. Anything they can find to get the witnesses' attention, they will do it. And now what they're calling for, many congregations, the elders are telling the witnesses to get your go bag ready. Well, that go bag, it's not first of all, I'm not going to condemn a go bag. I mean, I think it's good to have some emergency items packed away somewhere in case you have to get out of your house in a hurry. It's a good idea. I'm not picking on that. But what I'm wondering, the governing body, the elders, get your go bag ready, get your go bag ready. But where are the witnesses going to go? That's something Susan and I often talk about, my wife and I. Where are they telling the witnesses to go? I've been doing this program for maybe 20 years. And, this go bag thing is kind of relatively new in the last 5 or 6 years. But I never really read anything or heard anything about where the witnesses are going to go with their go bag. So we can only hypothesize. We can only think. Are they going to a Kingdom Hall? Are they going underground? They're going to, slip into some type of a multi-dimensional arena somewhere. I mean, nobody really knows where they're going to go. So all of the Jehovah's Witnesses, they're going to get their go bag. They're going to go outside. They're going to have the go bag in hand. They're going to be standing in the driveway, the parking lot, wondering where to go and what to do. So I imagine some of the things I have heard is that even though they'll be confused, even though they don't know what to do, they will call the elders. That this seems to be a new theme running through the go bag situation with the witnesses, that they're going to call the elders and the elders will tell them what to do. It's still kind of confusing, right? But anyways, they're going to take advantage. It was Emmanuel. Remember him? Well, he was the mayor of Chicago. Probably about 10, 12 years ago. I can't remember when. But he was the one that coined the phrase, don't let a good crisis go to waste. And that's now what the governing body is doing. They're not letting a good crisis go to waste, right? Anything that can get the attention of the witnesses and make them seem like, oh my goodness, Armageddon's right around the corner. They're going to do that. Well, okay, that's it for that one. Now, I wanted to, yes, Anne-Marie.
I'm sorry, but I'm wondering two things. They showed a video where witnesses were going with their grow bags, crossing a stream, walking on rocks across a stream, and they were all young, able-bodied people. What in the world are they supposed to do with all the disabled old people? And the second thing, for witnesses, I think they're really starting to suffer from expectation fatigue. Thank you, Rick.
I agree with you. I would, all of us. I mean, if you look at, here's the problem. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you something. Dr. Jerry Bergman, he's been on our program. He was a psychiatrist for the Jehovah's Witness Watchtower organization. And he's been on our program in the past. He's got kind of older now, but in the past, he's come on numerous times. And I remember saying, Dr. Bergman, why is it Jehovah's Witnesses have the highest mental illness rate, that is, of any other religion? They have 4 times the mental illness rate of any other religion. And I said, Dr. Bergman, why is that? And his answer was, because the Jehovah's Witnesses put their life on hold. Would you like to have your life on hold? Well, let's see now. We can't get married, can't have kids. I shouldn't take that job. I really would like to do this now, but I'm not going to do it because Armageddon's coming. He says that's the reason why so many Jehovah's Witnesses are mentally ill. They're disturbed by this. Wouldn't you be disturbed? We like to know where we stand. I don't know about you, but we all like to know where we stand. I can't go through life, and you can't either. Putting our life on hold, it'll drive us all crazy. So I just want to bring that point up. But the go bags. If you're gonna have that go bag ready, and you're constantly going to be hearing. But they don't do it all the time. I shouldn't use the word constantly, but they do it whenever there's like a crisis. They did it during COVID, and now they're doing it now with the unrest in the world. So that's putting your life on hold. So okay, hopefully all of this Iran and Israel not having good relations right now, maybe that'll all pass. And then there'll be another crisis down the road. Who knows what it will be, but it's putting the witnesses on hold. All right, let's take a look and see what else is going on behind the curtains. Well, I want to thank the people for giving me information about the Long Beach, California convention. Well, they've been having the conventions, as we know. They started, that is the Jehovah's Witnesses regional conventions. They start generally in America around the end of May. So out in Long Beach, California, there's a lot of witnesses out there. It's one of the more populated, it's the most populated state there is. We all know that. So there's a whole lot of Jehovah's Witnesses, and they've been going to the Long Beach Convention Center for years, right there in Long Beach. Now, I want to thank the people that gave me this information this morning. So now what we got, the Long Beach Convention Center. I'm going to show you a picture. I'm going to show you guys a picture of the convention out there this weekend and give you an idea of how many empty seats there are. But I'll get to that in a second. But first of all, let's just talk about the convention center. The convention center holds 13,500 people. Now, we all know that when we were Jehovah's Witnesses, and back in the 80s and 90s, and even the early 2000s, if you went to a convention back then, you would be hard pressed to even get a seat. I mean, we all know that, right? We had to get there early, sneak in and put some books on the seat, do something. So we got a convention center out there in Long Beach, California. It holds 13,500. So the people that sent me this information this morning, they had 5,903 people evidently there this morning. And then the attendance, I guess this afternoon just came in, is somewhere around 5763. So it went down. People probably got bored. It went down a few hundred people. So now all the empty seats, let me show you. Hold on one second. I want you to see the empty seats. Let me get that up right now so you can at least see the empty seats. Give me a second. I just got to get this up. So, you have 13,500 capacity. And you got 5,000. So more than half of the conventions got empty seats. And I'll show you the picture so you get an idea what I'm talking about here. Let me just scroll down and get the picture. Well, okay, there's the picture right there. Okay, well, that's not it. That's this one right here. I'm sorry, that's not it either. Hold on one second. I got you the wrong picture here. Let me go down and get the right picture. That's last year. I'm showing you last year's empty seats. I'll show you this year. I'll tell you what, I got more pictures of empty seats in my file here than you can believe. This is what you're looking at on your screen now, that's last year. This is this year. All right. But you can see still empty seats. That's a big arena. So you got, it's not even half full. So, you have no trouble getting a seat, no trouble at all. Plenty of seats. You don't have to run around. And I've been telling you folks, the witnesses will come up with all kinds of cockamamie, stupid excuses why there's so many empty seats. And I mentioned you this a few weeks ago on the six screens. Well, one woman, one sister, one loyal Jehovah's Witness sister said it's a blessing from Jehovah to have all these empty seats because we can really relax. We can put our feet up on the seats and relax. That is screwy. That is screwy. But that's what the witnesses do. They will make up excuses and lie through their teeth to make their organization look good. All right, so let's get that picture out of here. All right, so that's the convention and all the empty seats. But finding a seat would be no problem. I remember a few decades ago, uh, you had many people. I used to look at. I had 5 children going to the regional conventions back in the 80s and 90s. I would have to go down there before the convention was even open. I get down there at 6 o'clock in the morning, and there would be the doors are locked, and then all of a sudden, right on the nose, they wouldn't open those doors early, but right on the nose, 6 o'clock, the door springs open. Hello, brothers, welcome to the convention. And we all ran in. They didn't want us doing it, but I had to. I would run in with my book bag. I'd put books all over the seat, and I would save them. You all did that too. You all did that too. But what I wanted, another thing I wanted to bring up here today, folks, I have to tell you, uh, going through this last night on the news, it stuck with me. I thought about it many times since I talked about it last night. But we have right now witnessing many uh, elders that are leaving the Jehovah's Witness organization. This is a fact, friends. I'm not looking through rose-colored glasses here. Many elders worldwide are stepping down. These once devoted leaders are walking away. Many are walking away in silence, many in pain, many with stories that they never would share. They're starting to share it now. And I'm not looking at these elders as rebellious, bitter apostates or rebellious members. I'm looking at elders that have just had enough, that they're starting to see the cracks in the organization. They're starting to realize this organization isn't what it was all meant to be. And now they're really realizing that they're not truly benefiting. There is no benefit to be an elder today. They're getting diddly squat. They're getting more and more work handed to them. So I got thinking last night, well, what are some of the reasons? What are some of the reasons why so many elders are stepping down? Well, there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons. A lot of them are not going along with a lot of the Watchtower policy changes. For example, at the beards and the women wearing slacks. That this is all relatively new and is creating a lot of division in the congregations. So you get the young ones, oh, they love it. Oh, I can have a beard, I can have sideburns, I can have long hair. And now all of a sudden, there's older ones saying, wait a minute, we couldn't have it. What, did Jehovah change? What happened? So there's a lot of friction in the congregations. But now let's take a look here. And then I got thinking also, why so many elders are getting disturbed, and even their wives would be disturbed. They have got to be getting hit up for money all the time. Now just listen, hear me out here. Hear me out, because I'm going to try to make sense to you. Okay, I'm going to try to make sense to you. Well, what you've got is you've got Jehovah's Witnesses, and we went through this last night. I talked about a chart. They're really the poorest religion as far as the members. The members of Jehovah's Witness organization are the poorest on a totem pole of about 30 different religions in this country. There's many Jehovah's Witnesses, and these are current figures I'm going to give you. I did some more research today on it. There's many Jehovah's Witnesses, many. I'm talking about more than 40%. 40% of Jehovah's Witnesses make less than $30,000 a year. Could you live on $30,000 a year? Impossible. So you got a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses falling into financial destituteness. They are really seeing it's difficult to live. Many Jehovah's Witnesses are living in with one another. They're moving in to share rent, and financial expenses are being shared. And also, what's happening is they're feeling the adverse effects of the high cost of housing, and they never got a good job. They were never really told to go out and get a good job, get a career, get an education. So now what the Watchtower has is all these people, especially the baby boomers, the older people that never really thought that they would still be alive today. They thought Armageddon would be here and they wouldn't have to worry about money. But now they're worried about it. Now here's the problem. So you're an elder in a congregation. You're going to be constantly hit up for money. Oh, brother Jones, our electric bill is gonna, it's too much. They're gonna shut our electric off. Can you help us? Now, the Watchtower is not gonna help them. That we do know. Forget the Watchtower helping them. So you're gonna get Brother Jones. Geez, he's gonna go home. He's probably even gonna tell his wife that, geez, honey, I'm being hit up for dough all the time. Every time I turn around, some witness is coming to me. This is a fact. And so, this is a real burden. So the wife's going to say, geez, honey, we're having a hard enough time paying our own bills. Never mind paying bills for somebody else. JP, what do you think?
Hey, Rick, how's it going?
Good.
I was going to say, I'm going to be going for you to Long Beach in maybe a month or two. One thing I noticed from that picture, I don't know if you could bring it up, but they're giving an illusion that there's more people there than there usually is. And what I noticed is on both of the sides, all of the upper sections, because when I usually go there and take pictures from you, I sit all the way at the very top, the nosebleed section. And if you look, it looks like there's walls there, but they actually put down a giant curtain closing off all the upper sections to kind of, I guess you can say they're kind of corralling the sheep more closer together so it looks like there's less empty seats. But I'm surprised because I've never seen them do that before, put those giant curtains down. But I don't know if you could put the picture back up, but if you can see on the sides, they're not going all the way to the ground. But I didn't even know that they had the capacity to do that besides maybe roping it off. But they actually have these curtains there and it looks like a wall. But if they were to raise those up, there would be a couple thousand seats on both sides. And so they put both of those curtains down. It makes it look like it's a lot more fuller than it actually is. If they it's like if they lifted up the curtains, everybody would see just how empty it really is. It's really fascinating to me just that they're actually hiding that.
Well, yeah, we do have the picture up there. I'm kind of seeing what you're saying there. Boy, that is something. That is something. Boy,
You notice how it looks like walls?
Yeah.
If you hadn't been to that arena before, you would think it's walls, but I noticed it's some kind of a curtain that they drop down. And they don't really need to do that. They could just rope off the section, with ropes. They've done that before in the past. And I was just surprised that they actually did that. So I'm going to go there. When I go there, I'm going to see if they still have that wall up, but I'm sure they will.
Yeah, and I'll be sure to take some pictures for us,
Yeah, because I used to like sitting way up in the middle of nowhere by myself and taking pictures, and then I could kind of do my own thing while listening to their. I would usually just get some pictures and I would bring some kind of a book or something and then just try to read a book, or I'd put on some headphones and listen to something else while I was there. But this year it looks like how I was saying, they're kind of corralling all the sheep a little closer together, so it gives the illusion, the appearance that that place is packed out. But for 5,000 and something, that's less than half, because I think the capacity of Long Beach is 13,500, and that's just the seats. In the past they've put seats on the floor and stuff, which will increase the capacity about another 500 seats or so. They use the actual ground floor of the arena, which they've done, which they still are using now. It looks like, because whoever took that picture, you can see that there's still people on the flat part of the ground in the arena. But that's all I wanted to say. I've never seen that before, but it does give an illusion that it is a little fuller, but it really isn't. If they lifted up the curtains, it would really reveal just how empty that place is. But they're definitely trying to mask it up and hide it.
Well, JP, they gotta really puff it up a little bit. I mean, they can't. It's got to be embarrassing. It's got to be totally embarrassing to have convention. Now the other thing, and you know more about this than I do because you live out there in Long Beach. But the information that was sent to me today, that people had sent it to me, what they were saying is normally there's like 13 conventions a year. Now, Southern California, there's a lot of people out there. So, a lot of witnesses. So before, now that arena holds 13,500 people, as you say. That's true. Now, they used to fill it, and they would fill it years ago 10, 15 times. But now, how many conventions do you think they have this time around out there, JP? Only 4.
I would say
Only 4.
Yeah.
There's only 4 conventions. That's it. And they're running so if they're showing today, 5,500 people. Now by 4, say even 4 times that, give it 30,000. For 30,000 people, something's wrong. The governing body cannot keep stressing that the organization is growing when you see numbers like that. Hey, JP.
Can I give you a prediction, Rick?
Yeah, go ahead.
My prediction is that in the next couple of years, it could be as soon as next year, that the JWs are going to eventually end going to Long Beach, because it's not worth, with the amount of empty chairs and probably the cost that they get, it's not worth it. What I do know is there were some local videos from remember when they had the public information department, and that guy, what was his name? Henderson or Hendricks?
Yeah, right, Hendricks.
Yeah, he came to Long Beach, and he had a little meeting with the mayor and then whoever was the management of the Long Beach Convention Center, and they were giving a lot of good things about the witnesses. But I think that they were saying that they have some kind of a contract for so many years to use the convention center, and then they renew it I don't know if it was 5 years or 10 years, but I would predict now that whenever that leasing contract runs out, or whatever they have with the city of Long Beach and the convention center, I guarantee you they're probably going to end up not meeting there anymore, and they're going to go to either some kind of assembly hall or something like that, because the amount of people there that are showing up there, they can have a.
Well, they could do it. They could do it. They could do
an assembly hall.
Yeah, they could do an assembly hall. Hey, JP, thank you. We're going to move on to another program, but thank you very much. Now, what I want you to do is, when you go to your convention out there at Long Beach, keep us informed. Maybe you can send us maybe you can go live on one of our programs even. That would be wonderful. Okay?
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Thanks, Rick.
All right. Good, man. Thank you.
Hey, happy Father's Day, too, by the way.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
To all the listeners, too, out there, happy Father's Day, everybody.
Well, you're a good man. You too, JP. That's JP out there in Long Beach, California. Well, folks, thank you very much for coming into JW World News Sunday edition. I want you guys to keep standing tall. Don't you ever give in, up or out. Keep waving that flag of victory. And the last one, leaving the watchtower. Please turn off the new light. Stay with us. We're going to the Christian Court program. Now, I say it every couple of weeks here, don't head for the mountains. Just because you hear Christian, you folks who have left the watchtower, don't you have questions? Don't you have concerns? Seriously. So today we talk about scriptures. We have a great program coming up that, Christians ask many times peculiar questions. We have 2 scholars coming on. Why don't you stay here with us? I know you'll enjoy the program. Now we're going to let this one go. I'm going to end this program right now. JW World News, thank you for coming in. All right, let's go